Here we are looking at stage 1 of the Composer Challenge, Dead or Alive. I, of course, love to have fancy little transitions. So I built this in Keynote, and I use a lot of animations here. You can see just for the first page here, I have several different animations. Some are chained together. And it's completely unnecessary, but it makes it kind of fun and gets the kids excited. So here's the introduction. Now these composers that you'll see in my video are simply ones that I picked based on interest of my own students or curriculum that I needed to teach. You could certainly change them out in the future. I will be adding a more diverse group culturally, as well as some more females into the mix. So continuing on with stage 1 though, we call this the blind round because basically you're going to listen to 4 songs and choose your favorite. So I will play 4 examples, and example A I believe I have as The Simpsons, which is written by Danny Elfman, but they don't need to know that. They will just recognize the song, get excited about it. They may choose that. They may choose B, C, or D. After they've listened to 4 samples blindly, I ask them to talk with their partners, their neighbors, figure out their favorite, and then what they do is they hold up their Plickers card, and I will scan quickly and see what their vote is. And then we continue on with the next 4. We do the exact same thing with 4 new examples. As you can see, for 4 minutes and 33 seconds, I didn't have a recording. You could show a YouTube video. I just had a countdown. And then again, they vote. Thanks for voting. The results will be revealed soon, and that is the end of stage 1. You could easily do this without a keynote. Just put A, B, C, D and play musical examples as long as you know which is which when you go back and you check the results. And now we're on to stage 2. This would be the next lesson. We begin, of course, with the introduction, and then we take a look, and we first will listen to the example and then reveal the composer. So I do not give them all this information at once. It would look more like this. We'll see the numbers, who got how many votes, and then we will reveal the face of the person who wrote the song while we hear it. I do that for the first 4 sets. And then we categorize it. Oh, who was alive, who was dead. We do the same with the second set. And then same thing, who is alive, who is dead. We will eliminate the person with the lowest score from the first group, eliminate the person with the lowest score from the second group. And then what we did for stage 2, we read some facts about the remaining. And this is where I narrowed it down to just 1 team at a time. So we went with just the alive people. We heard John Williams. We listened to some of his music. We talk about different movies he's written for. Often people have heard about him, or they have something to share, or they know the songs, and we'll kind of play through and listen to different songs. John Cage here, he is actually fascinating to them because he's so different. We also had Danny Elfman, who unfortunately didn't receive many votes with my students, but I don't think I set him up well enough. They will recognize a lot of the animated movies that he has worked in. And then we have Eric Whitacre. Again, we're listening to some of his music. We're talking about it. You can use your own composers that would be interesting for your students. We do the same thing then with our Plickers cards, but now we have some names to them, okay? So even though Danny Elfman was eliminated already in my competition, we still talked about him, but we moved on. Now we have 3. They will vote. The next time we come back, we do the same thing, but with our dead composers. So here we have Tchaikovsky, and rather than just read a worksheet on him, We made this interactive so that they would search QR codes around the room, scan facts, and then take a little quiz on him based on what they found. We did the same with Beethoven, except we have a YouTube video here that we could watch, which is from Beethoven Lives Upstairs. Then Amadeus, Mozart, they love him. We have a short video clip that I have edited here from Amadeus. Unfortunately, we can't show that video to students because it would be inappropriate. However, I took a short clip of it and edited it so that they could just see a little bit of his character and his life. Same with Johann Sebastian Bach. This is a POW tune that tells a little bit about him, and this was made by Catherine. POW tune is a wonderful way to make fun, interactive little lessons here that are short. Students can make these as well if you really want to dig into this part. And here's another page on Beethoven. Then we would do the exact same thing as before, Plickers cards, A, B, or C. You vote for your new favorites, and someone will be eliminated. So stage 2 was really the main stage as far as attaining information on the composers. For stage 3, we would review our finalists, and then we're just going to vote for our favorites. So to see who is remaining, often what I show is the actual Plickers graphs, so they get to look at graphs and analyze graphs and see the results. You can also just tell them it's whatever works for your students and your situation. But since they've received so much information on different composers, we'd like to take stage 3 as a chance to sort through that information and remember who did what. So I've linked this to a Kahoot quiz. So it's called Dead or Alive, the Finals. Let's say we're doing one-to-one device, and just a quick to show you what it would look like for them. They will join by adding in this number, click start, and then it will take them through a series of questions. If you're more interested on learning how to make Kahoots, we do have a page on Blair Finch Project that is devoted just to Kahoot. It's a very great resource for formative assessment, finding where your students are at along the way. However, after we would spend our time with that, we may even do that as a team so that they can talk together and remind each other. We then vote. Now we're down to either A or B. We're getting a top finalist here for Dead, top for Alive. They will vote with Plickers, and again, we'll analyze the data, and then we're ready for our final stage. Stage, again, we start with a little opener here, and this is all about the big reveal and how we find out this data. I like to hold them in suspense. And since John Williams became our winner, I'd like to show you how we introduced it. We added a little Jaws for suspense, showed the top 2 finalists. The data. And by this point, all the kids are cheering because they finally know whether they love him or not. And then what we did is we reviewed his page and what makes him wonderful. We talked about how we did this in the spring, so we talked about how for the Rio Olympics, listen for the Olympic theme to be played on NBC, and that is Dead or Alive. Again, change the composers, make them whatever is interesting and applicable to your curriculum and your students, and have fun with it. You can use as much or as little tech as you would like.